The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Lifeguard Imaging.
Coming up on Bloom, the connection between self-defense training and mental toughness.
The biggest thing I tell all the athletes in the country and at the athletes at my gym is how you train is how you fight is how you train. Same thing can be said when it comes to self-defense. We all have that internal fight or flight mechanism inside of us.
And the best way to protect your skin from the sun's harmful rays. Plus, we're cooking up Southern comfort food with a healthy twist. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. There is a way to safeguard yourself and know early if you're dealing with major health issues like heart disease and cancer. Here in Tampa Bay, we're one of only 7 places in the nation where people have easy access to innovative technology that can detect hundreds of forms of cancer and heart disease in their earliest stages. And while imitation might be the sincerest form of flattery, you want the innovators, not the imitators, when it comes to your health, because there is only one premier scan facility, the original Lifeguard Imaging. And joining me now from Lifeguard Imaging is the Vice President of Business Development, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer and NFL great, Martine Gramatica. Martine, it's so great to see you.
Good to see you, Gayle. How are you?
Really well. You know, today we kind of wanted to focus on the importance of knowing who you're going to when it comes to your medical care needs. And Lifeguard Imaging is the premier scan center in Tampa Bay.
Well, Gayle, we take great pride in our number one responsibility is our patients, the experience, because everybody has a little bit of anxiety. You've already scanned a few times, and every time you go in, you just don't know if that's the year that something happens, or that's a scan. And 99% of our patients, when they come in, they've never scanned, so they don't know what's going on inside. And that's why we want to make sure our patients and your viewers understand that they may hear things, that our free heart scan is 100% complimentary. They're not paying 1 penny if they've come in for the free heart scan. And we also do body scans, because there are companies out there saying that we're not doing full body scans, that we're only doing heart scans. We're doing a full body scan. You've experienced it, Mark has experienced it, and that's what we do. We detect heart disease and also hundreds of cancers with our full body scans.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because we've created this incredible relationship over the years, from the people running the company at the very tip top, Frankie Maldonado, you're in the leadership team there as well, all the way to the people doing the scans. Over the years, we've created a great relationship, and it's important to us, and it should be important for our viewers to know who they're dealing with, because there are other people out there doing this, but you want to, when it comes to your health care, go to the leaders. Again,
Gayle, we build relationships. You hear some of the testimonials that come in. They don't just come in for the hour show and then we forget about them. We're always trying to see how they're doing, following up, and hopefully that everything goes well after something that's detected. There's a great picture online that you see all the way, motivational picture that shows Michael Phelps, swimming. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on the winners, and that's how that's how we feel. We're just focusing on us. We want to make sure that our patients understand we're here for them. We're saving thousands of lives every year. 1 to 3 lives will be saved every single day through our office, whether it's heart disease or cancer. And you can't tell me that we're not doing full body scans when we're detecting hundreds of cancers.
Right. And that's the thing. When we say here, every week on Bloom, go in, get your free heart exam. That's it. It is no strings attached. It is a free heart exam. And then you have the opportunity to sit down with somebody and understand about the full body scan, the legacy program that my husband and I, Mark and I, are involved with. That is a critical part of our health care that we do every single year.
Absolutely, Gayle. When the patients come in for the free heart scan, they're going to sit with a patient advocate. The patient advocate is going to explain everything that the full body scans. They're going to show them how to read their calcium score, because if they only choose to do a heart scan, we're going to show them how to read the calcium score when they receive the information. but we're going to explain the legacy program, because it was designed similar to the mammogram, where women are getting a mammogram every year, and breast cancer is the most detected and survived cancer because women are doing mammograms every year. Our full body scan is unofficially a full body mammogram from the top of the shoulders, base of the pelvis, and we're going to show them what the legacy program is like and what it does. And obviously you and Mark have taken advantage of that legacy program and understand the importance of scanning every year.
Oh yeah, with a history of breast cancer in my family, pancreatic cancer, I wouldn't miss my scan. Thank you so much, Martine.
Thank you, Gayle.
All right, call today right now, 813-582-5222, or visit lifeguardimaging.com. You'll receive a Bloom special offer, a free heart scan when you mention Gayle or Bloom. That's a $599 value, so call today, 813-582-5222 for this special offer. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Lifeguard Imaging.
You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now, 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Mental toughness plays a significant role in protecting yourself. It involves developing resilience, grit, and the ability to navigate challenges effectively. Here with strategic ways to develop mental toughness is three-time world kickboxing champion and the strategic mind behind USA Kickboxing as director of coaches, David Bybee. David, it's so great to see you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always an honor to be here.
So we're going to be talking more about ways to physically defend yourself with David coming up later in the show. But I wanted to talk about, the psychological impact of anything that you train for, anything that you challenge yourself with, that is creating mental grit.
Absolutely, you're right. So the biggest thing I tell all the athletes in the country and at the athletes at my gym is how you train is how you fight is how you train. Same thing can be said when it comes to self-defense. We all have that internal fight or flight mechanism inside of us. We don't know what we're going to do until we're under that duress and we have that adrenaline pumping through our system. So the best thing to do is to put yourself in those situations in a safe environment, obviously, but working with different people they don't know that are coming after you, so you can understand how to kind of, deal with those emotions that come up. Because if you've never experienced fear or that adrenaline pump or dump, then you have no idea how to use it. So we really advocate you really working hard to kind of put yourself in those positions.
I've never been involved in any kickboxing other than with you here on Bloom,
Yes.
But I have boxed a lot in my life. And it's very hard to explain to people that something about your mind-body coordination
Yes.
and the actual act of releasing that does more for you in the outside world than it might do in a ring or on a mat.
You are so right, and you hit on a subject there that's a lot of people don't know. Like when I was a young kid, I got in a lot of trouble. I was a good kid, but I got in a lot of fights, a lot of emotional stuff. But I started martial arts to be a bigger, badder person. I wanted to be a fighter. But starting in the martial arts and learning how to release that, I never fought again outside the ring. It completely changed me, and I didn't realize that change because I had a healthy outlet. Just like when you had that boxing training, punching the pads, punching the bags, or punching somebody in a fun environment really helps release your stress. It builds your confidence and takes you all those emotions into play. So.
Yeah, for me, I always had issues when it came to being appropriately assertive in life, standing
Yes.
up for myself, saying what I wanted to say. That was always very difficult for me. And when I started boxing, I did it for the physical part. I wanted to
Yes.
lose baby weight, but it ended up turning into transformative for me when it came to being able to just even speak my mind, David.
So it's a whole empowerment thing that kind of happens when you develop your body, and coincidentally it works your mind as well. But let's think of the lions and the gazelles in the plains of Africa. The lion is the king of the jungle, and they don't attack the strongest. They attack the weakest, the sick, or the one that's separated from the herd. Now, think about that in a self-defense situation. A predator, an attacker, somebody's not going to go for the person that's standing the strongest, making eye contact to you. They're going to be looking for that person that's like, shying away, looking down, that shows that physical unconfident person that they're looking for. So it's the same type of thing. So that training you did developed that in you, like, hey, I know how to do this. And so you had that ability to stand straight and look people in the eye. You were able to elude confidence whether you had it or not.
Yeah, and it's interesting because then in the real life, if you have to go on the mat for someone, like figuratively speaking, if you have to go up and stand up and have your voice heard, the same skills that you're learning, you know, through training of kickboxing, boxing, whatever it is that you're training for, those skills quickly translate. And like you say, it almost gives you an air or an aura about you that maybe you don't mess with that person and you mess with the next guy.
It gives you an energy, you know, that you can just kind of exude. It shows, you know, it builds that confidence in you. When you have that confidence, it shows everybody.
Let's talk about your son, man.
Oh my gosh.
He's a world champ.
My son, you know, this is a whole story, and they'll make a movie about it one day, but I'm a world champion, and I've trained my son, and he has literally followed in my exact footsteps all the way up, and now he's won a world title. He knocked a German champion out in 20 seconds, here it is, in the first round. Boom, doom, done. 20 seconds.
Go Austin.
And he's done. So
How old is he?
He is 21 years old.
Good for him.
I won my first world title October 1st, 1999 at the age of 21. That kind of shows how old I am. He won his first world title May 10th or May 11th at the age of 21. So, I mean, it's like he beat me on the year span, but at the same age, about 4 months apart. His birthday is in October. Mine was January. So.
That's awesome. What, October what?
Or I'm sorry, not August.
Okay,
August,
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay,
he was
all right.
August, yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations to you and to your son, and for any filmmakers out there, we got the next storyline for you. And the good news is David's sticking around because now that we have the mental side of protecting yourself down, we're going to show you the physical side after the break. But first, it's time for today's Bloom Trivia question, true or false. You need proper training to defend yourself. We'll have the answer later on Bloom. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website. That's BloomTampaBay.com. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We're back learning self-defense survival skills with three-time world kickboxing champion, director of coaches for the U.S. Olympic program, and BJJ black belt, David Bybee. David, thank you so much for sticking around.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love being here.
So I want to jump right into this. I think this is so cool. You've actually created garments that you've patented that help in self-defense.
Correct. We call it stealth defense because the whole point is you don't know you have it, right? So, but before we dive into that, it's important to also know how to defend yourself too.
Okay.
You know, even to the basic knowledge, right? You don't have to be a black belt like me or a world champion, but just having basic knowledge in anything will help you do better in a self-defense situation. So understanding some basic concepts, this turns into a force and leverage maximizer to help you out in any situation.
Because the name of the game is, are you, kind of walk me through it. Screaming if you're in a crowd is the #1 thing to do, be loud.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think so anymore, because how many times have you been in a place and somebody screams and you just look at them, you're like, oh my God.
And you keep walking, like, I don't want to get involved. Yeah,
right.
that turns into it.
You know, it turns into it. So that is an important component for sure, but you need to also know how to take things into your own hand if you have to. You can't rely on somebody else to always save you. You have to be able to at least protect yourself for an amount of time to create space and distance to run, or until somebody can help you.
So does that mean creating some physical harm?
If you have to,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If somebody, it's either you or them, and you have to think about it that way. You know, it's like if you're the lion and I'm the gazelle, I've got to run or do whatever I can, or you're going to eat me, right? So I got to figure out what do I got to do, whatever I got to do to survive.
All right, so show me.
All right. So one of the most important things I'm going to teach you, I'm going to bring Mary. Mary, come on in over here.
All right.
So we're just going to do a basic scenario. This scenario is a bigger guy, anybody, and I'm coming after female. I'm trying to choke you. Now, when somebody chokes you, I'm not going to stand like Frankenstein and try to choke you. What I'm going to do is try to put you in a position where I have power. I'm putting you against the wall. I'm putting you on the ground. I've got a force and leverage. So the first thing that's going to happen as I come in, if I'm coming in hard, she's going to step back. Boom. That step back is what's going to catch your balance. From there, she can, raise arm as high as she can. She's going to turn, break the arm straight down, and then come across and strike me. Boom, hit anything she wants. So that's the most basic self-defense concept in the world, right? Now, we can take the same concept and use stealth defense, right?
I love it.
The stealth defense is amazing. Now, I'm a big guy. You're a small lady. She's a small lady. So sometimes that first reaction may or may not work, right? So let's kind of go this way because she's on the same side of you. So I'm coming here, she steps back, she raises that arm straight, she's gonna turn, she's gonna clear. Now if you notice, she's got loops. She's gonna take one hand, she's gonna take the loop off, and she's gonna pull down. She's gonna swim the top arm underneath, she's gonna collect, good. Pull down, and now she's cleared, my arms off, comes through, and now she's wrapped my hands up. I can't move. This kind of actually hurts. So now if I had a weapon, I couldn't get it. Right? Now she's free with the other hand. She can strike me, hit me, whatever she wants. And then she can let go, and she's gone.
That's really cool. And you've put videos online of how people, if they get this special patented garments.
Exactly.
And then the same, like I'm wearing one now. And if you have kids, they're wearing these sweatshirts in 100-degree heat.
Exactly.
But same thing, it could be a
striking tool. Exactly.
Sorry, didn't mean to get your bike. Sorry, Mike, man. And then same with here. You can use it
as any type of a way to create space. Now, another, like I showed you here, like you just said, it's exactly right. I can whatever, I just need to create space. I need a distraction. I can pull it off, boom, hit the eyes, wrap around the throat, and just to pop away to then kick and do whatever I got to do to get out. Remember, we're stunning and running. I'm not trying to necessarily harm you to a certain extent here. I'm creating a space to get off. Now, on the ground, if I was to put you on the floor, we don't have mats here. It's not going to happen today, guys. Sorry. But, I put you on the ground. Even me, I'm a big guy. I'm like 225 pounds. You're probably like 110, right? So you could flip me off of you with the force of maximization with this. All you need to do is, any way, shape, or form, get your hands behind my head, pull one of the tabs off, wrap around in front, and pull. Pull, push. Yeah.
Oh, I was scared to push because that's going to really strangle you.
Yeah, and enough to make me stop whatever I'm doing.
For me to be able to take a good punch and run.
And run.
Okay.
Exactly right.
This is good stuff. All right, so the name of the game, and these are really cool. You patented this.
Yes.
This is something that you created. You put free videos online for
we
people to learn.
We have videos online for them. I wish I could say I created this. The genius behind this is a guy by the name of Tim Gillette. He's a partner of mine. He's actually in Rhode Island.
Nice.
So yeah, he's a really been in the martial arts for a long time. But
we're spreading the good word here in Tampa, and we're going to share everything, all of David's advice, and you can watch these moves on BloomTampaBay.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this. We are back with a healthy spin on Southern comfort foods. Joining me now with his signature collard greens and chicken and sausage jambalaya dishes is celebrity and executive chef and the author of The Love Languages of Food, Terrell Manning. It is so great to see you again, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, sure it has been. Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
I'm excited about this because you are known as the king of collard greens.
Collard green king, they call me.
Yeah, and you say that, you know, melding dishes together is what's on trend right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So taking, you know, some really popular dishes that is, you know, well known in the Southern community, marrying them together, that really seems to be the trend on TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Okay, so what are we going to be making, or how do we get started?
All right, so we're going to start making off some traditional jambalaya.
Okay.
So we got some onions, some bell peppers. I'm going to ask you for some of your help here
Okay.
in making this for me. We're going to cut the pan up. There we go. Get some of these vegetables in there. And so what we're doing here is we're marrying together what is typically a holy trinity, which is onions, peppers, and celery. We're marrying that with a mirepoix, which is celery, carrots, and onions. So if you want to dump in the
carrots and the onions?
Carrots and the celery as well in there.
Okay.
Beautiful. Stir that around. And then we'll get some tomatoes in there as well. Beautiful. We'll kind of just let that cook down. After it's cooked down for a minute, we'll add in a little bit of butter and let that stuff kind of come together.
Okay, this looks good, and it smells even better.
Yeah. So I love making jambalaya, right? Beautiful ingredients. We got a whole bunch of, you know, fresh vegetables and stuff in there, and we can really have as much fun with this as we want to. All sorts of seasonings that we can throw in there. I like adding in some, you know, lager beer into it.
Okay.
Just gives it a really nice balance of flavor.
Okay, that looks good. And so we're just gonna let this cut down for a couple minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, while that's happening, talk to me about these incredible collard greens, because you said a report came out not long ago showing that collard greens are best for your heart health.
Yeah, so collard greens was actually rated #1 as the green for heart health. So really, really healthy green. So many different things that you can do with collard greens. I mean, obviously, you can stew them like how we always do at home, right? You can throw them in smoothies. You can put them in place with spinach or kale or something like that. There's a lot of different things that you can do with collard greens. I make them all sorts of ways. Typically, I make them, you know, with smoked pork or smoked turkey neck, something like that, smoked pig feet. But here, I did a vegan option that you guys can do as well. So really, whatever you feel like doing with collard greens, there's so many different ways to do it, and they're good for you.
How do we follow you on YouTube? Because I understand you posted a really good video
Yeah.
to show how you became the collard green king.
Yeah, so on my YouTube channel, it is Chef Terrell Manning, and I gave you some tips on how to make your collard greens similar to mine. They'll never be like mine, but similar to mine.
As long as we can get in the ballpark, I'll be happy.
Exactly.
All right, so how are we coming along here?
We're doing pretty good. So we're stirring that around. If you could add in some butter for me.
Okay.
And that meat you got over there.
All right.
I'm going to help you out here too. This is one of my secrets to my jambalaya, some roasted garlic here as well.
Oh, that looks
roasted
good.
Garlic bits.
And then add in the meat, you said?
Absolutely. So what you have there is some ground pork. There you go, just dump that in there. And then I've got some andouille sausage.
My husband went to school in New Orleans, so
Oh,
he's going to like
nice.
it when I make this recipe for him.
He's going to love this then. And I got some fresh parsley here.
And when you look at the ingredients that you have here, Chef, it's all healthy, it's all fresh.
Yeah.
You know, you really can put a healthy spin and still get all the flavor of some of these Southern classics.
Absolutely. And, you know, you taste the difference. Even better, you feel the difference when you go to bed at night,
Right.
Without all the unnecessary heartburn and stuff like that.
Exactly. And you know what? You can control your ingredients.
Your ingredients, right, and the amount of seasoning that you put in there. Speaking of seasoning, if you can sneak some of that seasoning.
Okay, how much?
there.
I don't want to go
I'll tell you
overboard
when,
with
I'll
this.
tell you
All right,
when.
let me get a little.
Here, I'll even help you out.
Okay.
You want just a little sprinkle,
Okay.
a little dash in there.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. All right, so stir that around,
Okay.
and then I will open up America's favorite Mexican lager.
Okay. I love it.
Throw that in there.
And that gives it even just that's like a secret ingredient for some extra punch.
Yeah, just some extra punch, a little bit of acidity in there.
Oh man, that smells good. And then how long are you going to let this cook
All right,
up?
we can let this ride out for about 4 minutes
Okay,
or so.
all right.
And then once we come back, it'll all be ready.
Okay, that's great. And so then the cornbread you throw on the side.
Yeah.
You know, just you're kind of bringing and melding together all of these flavors.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, I gotta taste. Spoon me out some of this. I
All right,
gotta
let's
taste
do
a
it,
little
let's do
bit.
it.
I'll take a plate over here because this is one of my all-time favorite vegetables, and I miss my days at Auburn where collard greens were up for.
I'll forgive you this time for going to Auburn.
Are them fighting words?
Good? Mm-hmm. I think that's why they call me a collard green king.
There is definitely a reason that he reigns king when it comes to this. Is this the recipe you put on YouTube?
Close
Similar.
enough, close
Right.
enough. I can't give out all the secrets, but
Not all
close
the
enough.
secrets. Okay,
Yeah.
good. And then this is, of course, the vegan version, so we're keeping things healthy here on Bloom. But hey, it is so great to see you. Don't be a stranger for so long.
Absolutely, will not.
All right, we're going to share this story on BloomTampaBay.com. You can watch us put this all together, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now, 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We're back, helping you protect yourself, and that should include protecting your skin from the sun's harmful rays. Joining me now from Watt Plastic Surgery is medical esthetician Alicia Martin. Alicia, it's great to see you.
You too, Gayle. Thanks.
So, Alicia, there was a big report out last week talking about the ingredients in sunscreens sold specifically in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They might not just be dangerous, but they might not even be effective. So today, we're talking about safe ways to protect our skin and choosing the best ingredients that you can on the market.
Mm-hmm. So I think what I kind of want to get into is the actual differences between certain sunscreens that are available on the market right now. So I'm going to talk about physical sunscreens, and then I'm going to talk about chemical sunscreens. Of course, knowing that everything's a chemical, but physical sunscreens are going to be one of the best things that we can put on our skin. As you know, people who, like me, are interested in anti-aging treatments and things like that, it's great to help prevent future damage, but also for our babies, for our kids, it's going to be something that is going to be best and the safest for them so that they don't have chemical reactions to these sunscreens.
Which easily happens.
Easily happens. I've seen it happen over and over again. It's really sad because most people just think they're doing the best thing is buying sunscreen for their kids when they go to the beach. So physical ingredients are going to be a zinc oxide and a titanium dioxide. Those are really the only two that are available to us right now. There are chemical ingredients that you'll find, and it's anything else other than a zinc or a titanium.
Okay, and so we really should be thinking about it because a lot of times, you know, I say what's good for the earth is better for you.
That's right.
I mean, we're very much interconnected.
That's right.
So we don't want our kids to be digesting, or even adults, all of these dangerous chemicals that we're now finding out don't even work anyways.
Right.
So go the safer route.
Right.
So you wanted to point out some like labeling to keep an eye out for.
I did, yeah. So there are certain brands that you can find at a plastic surgeon's office, a med spa, a day spa. Those are going to be sunscreens more like these over here. And you can see if you want to pick up the bottle, you can read the ingredients. They're here on the bottom.
Okay.
So the zinc oxide in that is a 12%. The other one is a 10% zinc. Some of them that are available at drugstores, Target, Walgreens, there are titanium and zinc in here. The titanium is 4.5 and the zinc is a 6.5. So I think it's important to note that having a higher zinc and titanium is going to be best for your skin and for protecting our skin.
Now, when you have this type of, how often are you reapplying this?
So most people don't know, it actually says on the back of the sunscreen bottle to reapply every 1.5 to 2 hours. That's all the molecule is available to us for.
Okay, and so when you have something like this, you're going to be paying more. Is this something that you would wear daily on your face?
Yes, for sure. And there are tinted versions available if you want it to be like your makeup. I've simplified my routine, so my makeup is really all sunscreen. There's also a blush stick that I use, and that has sunscreen in it, an eye cream that I use that has sunscreen in it. So you can find these things, and they are the physical ingredients that we want.
And you know, we, of course, Bloom is broadcast globally, but here in the Tampa Bay area, and really it's getting warmer and warmer everywhere, you're sweating a lot. Your makeup's not going to stay on during the summer months anyways.
Yep.
So buying these tinted versions might be the way to go.
It makes it a little easier. Yes, for sure.
And then talk to me. This is really cool. I've never seen the driving gloves.
So you can find driving gloves if you were to, look them up. I'm sure Amazon has them. I have worn ones before that are just kind of uncomfortable. They're like usually black, so they get really hot. I found these fun hot pink ones.
Yes.
And I just love them to drive. I know I know a couple people who play tennis, and they wear them to play tennis. They are just really lightweight. And I think it's important, again, as women who are doing these things to help prevent aging, to protect your hands. It's really important. I was just talking with some of the ladies behind the scenes over here about when we're applying sunscreen in the morning to our face, whatever's left, put it down your body. Make sure you're putting it on your hands too, because your hands are just right there on the steering wheel, while we're driving. So prevent some damage.
I can tell you, I can speak from experience with age, because I'm old enough to be your mother, and I will tell you, I am, and I will tell you that I've always focused on protecting my face and the upper part of my neck, but I didn't spend as much time worrying about my legs and my arms, and it shows up later in life, and then you're having to do some repair work or trying to save the day. So this is great advice, very on point to share with us the ingredients that we should be looking for, because now that we know the chemicals out there aren't even working as they should be, better to play it safe.
Right, exactly.
All right, it was so great to see you.
Thank you, you too.
All right, we're going to share Alicia's advice on bloomtampabay.com, and when we come back, how to protect your peace and energy with personal boundaries. Bloom, we'll be right back. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website. That's BloomTampaBay.com. Just like a well-planned road trip requires clear boundaries to stay on course and reach your destination smoothly, life also demands healthy boundaries to protect our peace and energy. Joining me now with more is the author of her upcoming book, The Highway to Health, Writing the Road to Better Boundaries, Anastasia Turchetta. Anastasia, it is so great to see you.
Thank you for having me, Gayle, and talking about this important topic.
Yeah, because I think a lot of us don't create those boundaries, and then we struggle.
We do struggle, and there's areas that we can help protect ourselves and improve our lives, and that's with boundaries help us with our emotional health. They help us maintain our energetic balance or good vibes, so to speak, and they also affirm our self-respect and self-worth.
So what will setting healthy boundaries give us protection for in daily life?
It helps us understand how we want to be treated. It helps us understand who we are. It's kind of like the song, Who Are You? Who,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of like that. When you want to know, what do I like? What don't I like? And we're not really taught that, so it's about experiences. So there's a couple of questions that you can ask yourself in understanding, where do I need to set these boundaries in my life? There's about 4 questions of those. And I think some may resonate between the two of us, as we've talked about, but one might be to ask, am I feeling emotionally drained after interactions with certain people or certain situations?
Okay.
Because we don't really sit back and address that or even sit with that for a moment, but your body's telling you something.
Yeah, I've felt that experience. And then you say there's 4 questions that we should be asking. Give me some more. I like it.
So the second one might be, am I feeling or am I struggling with saying no, or do I feel really obligated to say yes after every single request? That's stressful. That really leads to burnout. It leads to, you're just like, okay, enough is enough, right? You kind of get angry, you feel unrest. Another one might be where you might think, okay, am I seeking approval or validation? Because that is almost taking away from you making your own decisions, from you being who you want to be. And then finally, it might be something like, am I valued? Am I feeling valued in my relationships? Am I feeling respected in my relationships? Or am I feeling disrespected, unappreciated, devalued, or even bullied?
So if the answer is like you know the answer to these questions, then what do you do?
I like to say, so in the book, for me, it's visualization techniques. So self-care really is on the road to self-respect, but to have something that's visual, like a road sign, might help just trigger somebody. And speaking of trigger, we'll do the road sign of caution. So if you're riding down the road and you see a caution sign, you would think, okay, I've got to stop and assess. So basically, you're going to identify triggers and behaviors that you don't like. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Like, let's just say couples, husbands and wives, friendships, family members, coworkers. How is that protecting you? How do you want to be treated? How do you want to be spoken to? Who are you going to surround yourself with? The second one is recharging. This one I love because we tend to recharge our technology and pay attention to it more than we do ourselves. We live in a comparison society, and it's really important to not self-compare and recharge and evaluate how we want to be self-respected. And then finally, it's the do not enter sign. Don't go there, you gotta stop, no entry, and that's where you set and communicate clear boundaries and be consistent with the consequences.
You know, for time purposes, this might be a whole nother edition of Bloom that we talk about, so I'm just planting a seed in your head. But sometimes, you know, for me on a personal level, because you know me very well on a personal level outside of the show, sometimes for me, setting boundaries is very, very difficult. And the reason behind that is because I want everybody to be okay. And people have different tolerance levels to boundaries. My tolerance level's pretty high. You can push a lot of cords with me and still I'm not setting boundaries with you. But maybe for my children or my husband, the boundaries are different. But what do you do? Or maybe I just need to go sit on a couch somewhere and talk about why I let people overstep boundaries. I mean, I don't know. It's so confusing.
It's very confusing, and I would listen to my body. So as soon as you feel and you recognize, yes.
I think that's it. And why do I allow
why are you struggling?
that feeling?
Right. Is that who you identify with? And we're not taught about boundaries either.
We're not.
We're really not.
I was never taught about it. I mean, clearly my kids will know what it's about, and they're very good. And I'm proud of them as daughters to be able to set boundaries at an early age. But I think for a lot of adults like myself,
yes,
I was never taught, so I don't set them.
It would be so awesome if we knew that instead of just don't get in a van with a man, right?
Exactly.
That's what we were taught. And when you think about it that way, we're not taught about anything else, let alone how to clearly and assertively communicate. Usually we come off because we're so frustrated, it can come off as aggressive or criticizing or something like that instead of being well received and being heard. Because then that just fuels self-respect. It's just, we need to learn how to reframe our feelings and our communication and then follow through with, I'm not okay with this. I'm going to end this conversation if it continues this way. Or I'm going to gift myself space and walk away from a situation.
I love it. Anastasia, great discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to share Anastasia's advice on BloomTampaBay.com, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. Welcome back to Bloom. The second annual Arts and Mind Village convening is happening this week at the Strass Center's Tico Theater. Joining me now with more is the Vice President of Education and Community Engagement at the Strass Center, Alice Santana. Alice, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me today.
So this is a really popular event. It's back, it's growing, and it's a really incredible opportunity for the community.
Yes, definitely. My team is very excited to be able to host this once again. As you mentioned, it is our second year doing this convening, and it's where we bring artists and members of the medical field together to really discuss the impact that the arts can have on your health.
So tell me about the impact that arts can have on your health, because I think it's really impressive that you do have these scientists, these researchers and leaders in our community helping us understand the connection.
Yes, it's something that the Strass Center, a conversation we got into back in 2017 that we have slowly been putting together now for the past couple of years. We partner with Johns Hopkins Arts and Mind Lab under Susan Maxhammon, who's recently written a book about the same topic. And through these different conversations, you're really learning how the arts impact your physical health, your mental health, and how through each of those different mediums, you can actually help build a better life for yourself.
So what can people expect when they attend?
Well, it's completely free to the public, which I always like to share with everyone because we want everyone involved in this conversation. You'll be a part of different panel discussions involving the medical field as well as artists that are practitioners. We're really big on being the actualizers of the conversation. And so then in the afternoon, you're actually going to experience some performances and conversations about that as well. The other thing that I wanted to note is that the day before, we're actually going to kick it off with Dementia Man, a one-man play written by Sam Simon and performed by him. And he is a gentleman who was recently diagnosed with dementia himself, and the play is all about his journey with finding out his diagnosis.
Oh, wow, that's really beautiful.
And he will be one of our panelists the very next day to discuss how he created this piece.
That is incredible. Are there any common threads that you can share with me about how art is intertwined with our mental well-being?
The biggest thing is realizing that as you are engaging in art-making experiences, it is also a therapeutic experience. You're able to release your energies, you're able to recall memories, and really find a new outlet to be able to heal and begin that conversation.
Yeah, and I think too, when you are expressing your creativity in life, that energy that you're sending out maybe will overshadow some of the negativity in your life and help you find balance.
Definitely. And being able to be comfortable in those moments and seeing that awkwardness that you may have not known was there, you are able to create something very beautiful in the process.
That's really, really cool. Well, congratulations on bringing this back for year 2. Again, we want to tell everybody listening that it is a free event. And not only will you have the opportunity to see the performances, but you'll also be able to engage with the panel of experts. So it's kind of an interactive experience for you. So it's a great event that everyone should go to.
Definitely, and thank you again for having me today to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just once again, the event is happening this Wednesday, May 22nd. It begins at 8:30 a.m. and it runs until 4 p.m. at the Strass Center's Tico Theater. We're going to put everything that you need to know on bloomtampabay.com, including the special performance that you mentioned. You don't want to miss that, so we'll include that information. Again, bloomtampabay.com, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. It's time for today's Bloom trivia question, true or false? You need proper training to defend yourself. The answer is false. Experts say while proper training can be extremely beneficial, it is not the only way to protect yourself. Other ways include screaming to alert others and react by causing injury to your attackers, so you have time to run. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the innovative breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. You can watch our podcast anytime on YouTube or listen on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We're sharing new summer food trends with some of our top chefs, incorporating produce grown right here in Florida. And Dr. Kathleen is in with foods that will quickly boost your health. Stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.